Afternoon, everybody. How's it going? Well, I say afternoon, everybody. There's nobody in here yet. That's all right. I just started. It's just a pop up. I'm on the way home using my other phone. I tried to do this. What was it? Tuesday maybe. I had terrible signal. Just couldn't keep a signal. But I'm on my other phone. Hey, Killer Smile. How's it going? I'm just riding home. Got about an hour drive. And just thought I'd throw up a live. And if anybody want to come in and chat together, that would be fine. Right now, it's as far as traffic, so I can look at it every now and then, make sure I can get to everybody. Hope everybody's having a good afternoon. I tell you, it is hot here in Kentucky. 98 according to my truck, and nice and humid. It's a good day to enjoy some air conditioning. I'd like to go fishing this evening. The current's back down to normal, but too hot. Too hot for me anyway. I'm not, once it gets above the 90s, it's too hot for me. I should have been a Canadian, I guess. I should have been up north. I like the cold better than the heat. Come on over, truck. Oh, wrong button. Come on over. Nope, not gonna do it. I tried to let you come over, buddy. They're right here passing the truck stop. Gets a little more congested with the trucks. What's everybody up to this evening? I hope staying cool. I just realized I've got the microphone on the camera pointed the wrong direction. I don't know if y'all can hear me much or not. Maybe you can't. Not like I'm doing a whole lot of talking. I'm just driving. The wife took off work today. I was supposed to have been on vacation today, and tomorrow, well, me and her both were. We were going to go down to the Smokies, to Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion. It was so doggone hot, we decided against it. So rather than burning a vacation day, I came to work. I'm thinking I may go ahead and use a vacation day tomorrow. Be a good day to chill out and relax, just take it easy. Too hot to fish, probably. I don't know, I might could get up and go fishing right at daylight. But I may just chill out around the house, take it easy. Get up, go get a little breakfast, and not do much of anything. Going fishing today? Well, that's all right. I don't know where you are. I sure hope it's not as hot as it is here. It's doggone hot and humid here. I saw your name pop up there. I saw Shoemaker. What, W.H. Shoemaker? Where you at, buddy? Where are you? What part of the country are you in to go fishing? Are you down here? The name's familiar, but I can't remember if you're down here in my part of the world in Kentucky or where. Western Kentucky. Okay, I thought you were down in this part of the world. Hey, old boy outdoors, how's it going? Uh, but if you're going fishing down here in Western Kentucky this afternoon, I hope you enjoy the heat. It is too hot for my blood right now. I thought about it this morning when I left the house. I was going to be working down here close to the dams. I thought, well, I could take a fishing pole and go fishing, but I decided it was just too hot. Cool weather's coming back Sunday. It looks like going to be back down in the 80s. So I'm probably gonna fish Sunday morning and have a lazy Saturday would be my guess. Where are you going fishing at? You going down to one of the dams or out on the lakes? Yeah, you may have cut out already. I didn't notice who's in there and who's not. I got a new truck, y'all. I got a Toyota Tacoma. I say new. I've had it for a couple of months now. And one thing I cannot get accustomed to is this adaptive cruise control. Let's see. Oh, talked to me last year at Kentucky Dam. Okay. I knew the name sounded familiar, but I talked to so many people, it's hard for me to keep up with all of them. But this doggone adaptive cruise control, my F 150 didn't have it. I'm not used. It slows you down if you come up on slower traffic. It slows you down so fast. I don't really even realize it slowed me down. I just happened to look down at my cruise or my speedometer. I was going 55 miles an hour behind that vehicle. They were going so slow. They looked like a slow old man. I need to go home and take a nap. This heat makes me sleepy. Hopefully we'll be able to keep signal here. We're just crossing the back of Eddy Bay here off of Barkley. And for about the next 3 miles, 4 miles, something like that, I hit some low spots. And sometimes I don't think I ever completely lose signal when I'm talking to somebody, but I get down to one bar. Better stay over here, make room for that truck coming out. Hopefully we won't have any trouble losing the signal. This next spot coming across the back of Port Authority Bay. I said I went past Eddy Bay back here. I did. That was Catawba Harbor. This is Port Authority Bay coming up. This is where I lose signal the most. There we go. We're back. Like seeing me fishing my boat on the lake. Well, let me tell you, I don't know if you caught my live this past weekend. I don't know if you caught my live this past weekend. Day on the lake, doggone, I fished prison though for the last couple. Buddy, I tell you, Saturday was rough. Or was it? No, maybe Sunday. I guess it was. It was rough. I couldn't find a fish anywhere. After I looked deep, I looked shallow. I went back in the bays. I don't know if this heat coming in did something to them and maybe shut them up for a little bit, or if it was just me, but I couldn't find a fish to save my life. I was marking a lot of fish on the depth finder. I just couldn't get a bite. So I don't know. I'll be back out there Sunday on the boat, I would imagine. Wife will be around Sunday morning, most likely. She likes fishing out of the boat. She does not like fishing the river. When I go to the river, I usually catch bigger fish, but she does not like being around all that current. I grew up down by the river, so it's not that big a deal to me, but she doesn't like it at all. Just being there is the best fun. You got that right. I like being on the water. I grew up being around the water and on the water. My dad worked on barges, so I got to spend a little time on barges. He liked to fish a lot, so we were out fishing quite a bit. In my late teens, early 20s, I had a muscle boat. I had a regular job, but I had the muscle boat too, so I was on the water, geez, 3 or 4, sometimes 5 days a week after work muscling or on the weekend during the wintertime when it was legal to muscle out on the lake. I was on the boat all the time. I just like being on the water. I've got the itch for a little bit bigger boat. little bit narrow, a little bit nice. I'd like to have a four-stroke motor. My boat, I've had it for 22, 23 years. I believe it is, a long time. So it's starting to show its age. The motor's showing its age. It's lost some power on the motor. It's loud. It's an old two-stroke. Your brother retired from Barkley. Okay, good deal. So I'd like to get a little bit bigger boat, a little more wide open. My boat is it's kind of a bass boat style with the fishing platform on the front and back. It's a metal boat, not really a bass boat, but it's kind of got that style. I like a more wide open boat. His name is Henry Shoemaker. Okay, he retired like from the Lake Barkley State Park or the Barkley Dam or something like that, or just down around the Barkley Lake area. Oh, looks like I lost everybody. I hit another dead spot, I think. They've lost everybody. It's 4:46 and my belly's growling. That's too early to be eating supper, but my belly's growling like it's supper time. My belly's always growling though. What am I saying? Y'all watch me fish, I'm always saying my belly's growling, time to leave and go get some food. Barkley Dam, he was a chief engineer. Oh, okay. I've always heard that's a pretty good job down there at Barkley Dam. Buddy of mine works down there. I say buddy of mine, we used to hunt together some. I hadn't seen him in years. Oh, Kevin Chambliss. At least last I heard he was down there. He said it was a good place to work. You know, I think it's bad working there at the rock quarry and being so close to the water. That'd be real bad working at the dam and having to see that river all day and the lake on the other side and not being able to fish. I guess when you get off work, it's nice to be right there by it, though. Hmm. You going down to the dam this evening to fish? I asked you earlier. I don't know if I saw your response or not, though. Like you said, you were going to head out fishing. I noticed on the app that Lake Barkley was back down to kind of normal flow rate for this time of the year, about 8,000 cubic feet. But Kentucky Dam today, at lunchtime, I went over to Calvert City to get some lunch, and it looked like Kentucky Dam was flowing pretty fast. I don't know just what they were flowing, but water was up over all that concrete pier that you like to go out on to fish, moving pretty good. They didn't have any gates open. It was just all the turbines they were running. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me for my drive home. I do a lot of driving for work, and I can't always be on like this if I'm actually on work time. I can't have the phone going or the camera going. But this is my time today, so I figured I'd just turn it on for the ride and chit chat. I didn't know if much anybody else would be off work yet or not. I thought it'd be worth a shot to talk. There is a Jaguar passing me. That is a sharp car. It had some like a caramel kind of color leather interior. It was nice looking. I've never even driven a Jaguar, but it sure was pretty looking on the inside. I don't think he would pull a fishing boat very well though with the Jaguar. That's like I'd like to have a Corvette. That's kind of my dream car. But I don't think I could pull a fishing boat with the Corvette. I'm thinking about taking off work tomorrow. Like I said earlier, I've got it's supposed to be scheduled off. I just it was hot. I want to hit work today. I've never been over to the Corvette Museum in Bowling Green. I was thinking that might be something good to do on a hot day. Good money. My older brother worked for Reed's as chief engineer. Okay, work for Reed's. I got you. There at the quarry, we had just about, I say just about, we got about 5 more years or so, maybe 5 to 10, depending on sales volume of reserves. And we're going to start moving over onto the Reed Farm to mine, if you know where that is, the one that's kind of in behind the dollar store. We'll be moving that way, moving towards Cumberland River. I mean, it'd be years and years. It'd be 50 to 75 years before we'd ever get over close to the river. We'll be going that direction. It's a big old hole in the ground, and it's only getting bigger. And I get to go fishing much. Mark was the name. Okay. Hell, that fishing hole. Well, I hate you don't get to go fishing much. You know, the last probably 3 or 4 years, I've fished more than I ever have in my life. I've always fished, but nothing like I'm doing now. And nowadays, I fish. Geez, sometimes I'll fish 3 or 4 days a week. But my kids are both grown and gone pretty much. My oldest one is a veterinarian. She just started. Excuse me. She just started her first real job. Sorry, I got hiccups. She just started her first real job, and shortly after the fourth. And my youngest daughter, she's off in school out in California. So I don't have a whole lot tying me down when I get off work. Luckily, I've got a wife that's really understanding about fishing. Honestly, she likes to fish as much as I do. She goes often as I would, just about. But she works about an hour from the river, so it's not easy for her to get off work and come fishing like it is for me. But I do definitely fish more than I ever have. Used to be I'd fish a few, 2, 3 times a month. Now, like I say, times a week isn't uncommon, and I could probably fish more than that. I need to buy a fishing license. Lost signal for a bit. Sorry about that. All down through there, from here to the Nashville area, there's waters to fish that I can fish after I get off work, but I've never bought a Tennessee license. I need to. I could hit some of those spots on the way home from work, but I don't know anything about them, so I'd just be fishing blind. Got a couple of people riding with us. I appreciate you. Now, they say I'm just driving home, so nothing special this evening, just a little ride and chat. If you got somebody new, I hadn't kept up to see how many we had in there. For anybody new that's in there, I appreciate you hanging out. don't know if y'all ride Interstate 24 much or not, but I'm between Eddyville and Cadiz, and I'm coming up on the pig zone. There's a pig farm right through here somewhere as we come up on this next bridge. I don't know exactly where it is, but it sure does smell lovely this time of year when it's hot out. I don't know how anybody can be a pig farmer. I guess you get used to the smell. It's rough, I know that. Oh, God. It looks like we got somebody else joining us. Appreciate you joining in. There's a couple people in here chatting. Feel free to have a conversation while I drive. That or just lurk if you want to. I've been listening since I got this new truck. It came with a Sirius radio for a while. You know how they give you a free, I don't know, 90 days, 6 months, whatever it is. I've been listening to comedians just about all the time while I'm driving. A good little switch up from the music. I'm deaf in my right ear, so music doesn't carry the same weight with me that it used to. It just doesn't sound the same anymore. Weird how that happens. Lose sound out of one ear, or lose hearing in one ear, and it just doesn't sound the same anymore. Oh, I just looked over. I see we're down to 0. I guess everybody had to run. That's all right. I talk to myself half the time anyway. As long as I don't answer myself, I hear you. Well, I guess there's somebody in here. YouTube is telling me 0 people watching. I don't guess that thing is very accurate. Now it tells me there's 2 watching. That probably means 0. Now what? It jumps all over the place on there. Or it may just have a little bit of lag. I don't know. Losing signal. Um, if I take off tomorrow, I may get the wife out and try to go somewhere. I don't know, Bowling Green, to look at the Corvette Museum, or I don't know. Maybe going over to Mammoth Cave would be a good thing to do on a hot day. We haven't really had a vacation in a while. We used to take a week and go somewhere. And with my kids and her kids and everything going on, it's just been hard to put together a week vacation to go somewhere. So we've been doing a lot of day trips. Mammoth Cave doesn't sound too bad. Nice and cool down there on a hot day. There's just not a lot else to do over there. Uh, y'all ever go to Bowling Green? Any good restaurants to eat at while we're over that way? If we go, or maybe not even Bowling Green, over around Mammoth Cave. If you have somewhere over there you like, I'm open for recommendations. We've been over there before, several times, but we usually always camped in the past. But this will just be a trip up there and back. Let's see, I can't miss anybody there. I was turning. I don't think so. There's a big old field of tobacco to the right. I don't know if y'all can see that as we came around there. Reminds me of my days as a teenager working in tobacco for a couple local farmers. I don't miss those days at all. Tobacco work was not something I ever enjoyed. I'd rather haul hay than work in tobacco. Especially this time of year out there cutting and housing it, hot in the field, cutting and spiking it, and hotter than Haiti in that barn. No air moving, putting it up in the barn. I guess nowadays, though, most of these farmers got the mechanical systems in the barn, make it a little easier. They elevate it for you. You don't have to climb up the tier poles, hand it up to somebody. Well, I don't know if you're still in there, WF, but if you are, I've got a couple of videos ready to go. Well, I say ready to go up. I need to edit them, but a couple of fishing videos on the boat. I'm behind. I usually try to do a good job of getting those videos out within a couple of days after we go fishing. But I've got a couple that I recorded that I need to work on them. That may be something good to do this weekend while it's so hot. I need to get them edited and ready to go up on YouTube. This time of year, late August, fishing tends to get a little tougher for me. It's been good up until last Sunday. I hope it picks back up this weekend. Rustic, how's it going? I better quit looking down at the doggone chat and drive. I'm just headed home from work, and I was looking at YouTube there in the parking lot before I left work, and I didn't see anybody else live. So I thought, well, let me just go live and see if anybody wants a place to sit and hang out and chat for a while. We've had a few people in here, but not too much. It's been quiet. What you been up to today? Not much of a fishing day for me. I thought about going fishing this evening. I started to take the poles with me when I left the house this morning, but I decided it was just too hot to fish this evening. So I'm just riding home. I live an hour from where I work, well, from where my office is at Grand River, so that's about the closest place I go for work. Washing out the AC and sleeping. I hear you, buddy. That's about all this weather's good for, if you ask me. It is too daggum hot. Thinking about taking tomorrow off. I was scheduled to be off today and tomorrow, and went ahead and worked today because it was so hot. I didn't think I'd be doing anything other than just sitting around. I didn't want to burn a day for nothing. I was eating my lunch and looking at the map, and I thought, well, you know, maybe if I go 2 or 3 hours north, we can find somewhere up in Indiana or something like that to find something to do. Doggone if it wasn't hotter 2 or 3 hours north than it is here. Over 100 tomorrow. That's the doggone truth. I'm not looking forward to it. I don't know if you were in here earlier, Rustic, when I was saying it, but I'm thinking about taking off tomorrow anyway. I'm kind of burnt out here lately. I need a little time off. Thinking about going over towards Mammoth Cave, checking out the caves. It's been a few years since we've been over there. Shoot, it's probably been 10 years since we've been over there. Those caves are nice and cool. It's a good thing to do on a hot day. Maybe check out the Corvette Museum in Bowling Green. Find somewhere good to eat over there. You ever go to Bowling Green or to Mammoth Caves? Anywhere over there you got recommendations to eat? I'd like to find a good Italian place. We don't have, that's something we're lacking around here. At least if we've got it, I haven't found it. That's a good Italian place. We got several good Chinese places, several good Mexicans, but no real good Italian. Never been there. Well, I've been over to Mammoth Cave twice in my lifetime. Been Bowling Green a few times, but usually just to go there and back. Used to go over there for horse sales pretty regular back in my horsing days. They used to have a lot of horse sales over at the university. But I was always in and out, never stayed for anything. At Mammoth Cave, the 2 times I've been, one time we pulled a camper, and then one other time we stayed in a tent and just did our own cooking. Too dang hot for that now. And we've still got the camper, but I think we just go over for the day. It's too dang hot to even be trying to camp right now, I tell you. Just so hot it wouldn't be enjoyable, I don't think. The caves are nice though, especially if, on a hot day. You know, you get down underground, temperature, I don't know what it is. I'm gonna guess it's in the 60s, something like that, maybe upper 50s. It's nice. Everything they've got is a tour over there. And they're usually like 2.5, 3 hour tours, so it's not too bad. Good walk, good exercise, cool. Too hot to fish here today. It's hot at night. That's the doggone truth, buddy. I thought that if I took off tomorrow, I might get up, be at the lake right at daylight and fish, but it's the doggone hot and humid. It's just not enjoyable, I don't think. I don't even know if the fish would be biting right now. If I was a fish, it'd be so dang hot, I wouldn't even want to eat. I probably won't fish until Sunday, maybe. Looks like it's going to be in the 80s Sunday, so that's pretty doggone tolerable. I need to mow my yard, but I'm not going to do it while it's this hot. I'll just let it grow. Oh, I'm sure, man, bugs are ridiculous. I used to enjoy night fishing. But if I'm going now, my wife likes to fish with me, and she hates the bugs, so we rarely ever do a night fishing trip. I think last year we went night fishing one time, and we just fished from a dock, um, but it was terrible. Yeah, especially if you go this time of year. It used to be if you waited till about midnight or so, it seemed like the bugs would die down. I don't know. I'm sure they still do that. I don't know why that would be. I guess there are a lot of bugs that are active early at dark and right before daylight. We're about to turn on the bypass around the big city of Hopkinsville here. You all can see the big city, I'm sure. I'm joking. We're all just on the outside of it. Anybody got big weekend plans? I'd like to do something. It seems like here lately all I've done is fish or just hang out at the house, but I don't know what it would be other than just goofing off. Not much going on I want to do outside right now. I hear you, dude. Don't nobody fishing. It's been so hot. I crossed Kentucky down today at lunchtime. Went over to Calvert City to get me some lunch, and there was not a single vehicle at Kentucky Dam. On the way back before I went to work, I rode over to Barkley, and there was not a single vehicle at Barkley Dam either. Nobody was out in this heat, and I don't blame them either. This heat just takes the fun out of it for me. I tell you who I would feel bad for. Right next to the quarry I work at is a paving company. I feel sorry for them paving fellas. They were working out in it today, and I have all this week. A lot of times when it gets this hot, they'll go to an early morning shift. They'll start like 3 in the morning and knock off by noon or so. But I guess they're running on a job that dictates their schedule. I'm not that addicted to YouTube to be out in this heat. Amen. But yeah, those paving guys, I mean, I know it's got to be rough. They're on that asphalt that's probably 300 degrees when it's coming out of them trucks. So I guess they're accustomed to the heat, but it's got to be rough. Got to be rough. Hey, Rustic, I looked at StreamYard. I think I'm going to sign up and start using that one, like you said. It doesn't look like it's any different from just from what I could see. I haven't used it, but it didn't look like it'd be too hard to use. You got any pointers on it? Anything I need to be looking out for? Remember to keep a charger pack with me. I hear you there. I've actually got two chargers or charger packs that I keep with me. Uh, One of them I usually use for my GoPro. That, of course, if I'm going live, I don't have to have the GoPro, so I can use it. And it's a pretty doggone good one. I can usually run that GoPro for about 9 hours on it. I don't know how long the cell phone would run, but I would imagine it'd be as long as I was going to be fishing. But just in case, I've got a backup one too that's not quite as powerful, but it seems to do all right. I think I can usually run my GoPro 3 or 4 hours on it. So the StreamYard burn a lot more battery than YouTube does. StreamYard is good once you used to it for a while, figure it out. That's good. That's real good. Yeah, it burns more battery. I got you. That makes sense going through a third party uh, software. I assume it's connecting to YouTube and doing a whole lot more stuff in the background. I may need to end up getting another one of those better battery packs just in case. I'll try it and see. I think my phone battery is usually good for about an hour and a half from what I've seen streaming so far. Let's see. Just remember, make your thumbnail prior to setting it live. I got you. I have to remember that one. But yeah, my phone battery will cover an hour and a half. If I can get, another hour and a half, 2 hours out of that battery pack, that ought to be plenty. I don't usually fish much more than 3 hours, four at the most. You know how it is. I've usually got honeydews at the house I've got to get done too, so can't get away for that long. I say that, but half the time I'm ready to go because my belly's growling saying, let's go. And my wife is saying 30 more minutes. That or my butt saying it's time to go, especially if I'm down at the river sitting on them rocks. Them doggone rocks is hard on the backside. Yeah, and then the real fisherman is, that's the truth, Rustic, I tell you. Uh, she's a lot different than me when it comes to fishing, though. She don't care if it's anything from a 3-inch bluegill to a 30 or 40 pound catfish. So catfish and bluegill or something are down there pecking at my bait, wearing me out. That agitates me. She doesn't care. As long as she sees the tip of that pole twitching a little bit, she's happy. Of course, I'm sure if you've noticed any of the videos, she likes to feed the fish or bait. She'll reel him in and be like, here, let me feed him for his troubles. I want to feed him a piece of shrimp or something. I tell you, she's got more patience than me, too. If they're not biting, I'm ready to go. About an hour and a half. They get in the bite, probably time for me to go try another spot or go do something else. She doesn't mind to sit there. I thought I'd outgrown that impatience by now, but I haven't. Don't get to go fishing a lot like most folks do. But you're a retired man. I figured you'd get to fish all the time. I believe, didn't you tell me you're retired? I was thinking you were. Of course, if you don't live right by the river or the lake, it makes it a lot harder. I know you live over in, Missouri, somewhere in that neighborhood. Not terribly far, but not terribly close either. At the end of the year, it caught a lot of fish. Yep, I hear you. I don't keep up with it, but last year I actually did count for a while, and I caught. When I say between me and her fishing together, we caught over 1,000 catfish. Now a bunch of them were little bitty ones. I tell you, up there on those lakes, sometimes it's not hard to get into a mess of little catfish. If you count all of them, we caught over 1,000. We haven't caught that many this year, though, Rustic, and probably won't, I'm sure, because where I had my shoulder surgery early on in the year, I missed a good 3 months, 3.5 months. Let's see, all of February, March, April. Yeah, I think I got to start fishing in May, I believe it was, or was it June? I don't know. I missed a lot of fishing. Missed a whole lot. Don't want to catch nearly as many fish this year. That's all right though. I'm just glad my shoulder's feeling better. I got to where I couldn't fish hardly at all without my shoulder hurting. I couldn't sleep without my shoulder hurting. It still bothers me a little bit after the surgery, but it's getting better all the time. I got about 90% of my range of motion back, and that's something I've been working on here lately. Hey, Catfish Fever, how's it going, man? I'm just riding home from work, buddy. Thought I'd throw up a live for everybody to chat here. Nothing special going on. But yeah, I've been working on my range of motion, doing some exercises on my shoulder here lately, and it helps, but it gets a little painful for a few days after doing it. You have to get surgery on your left shoulder. Well, mine was on my right. If you got rotator cuff surgery, I tell you, it's it wasn't as painful as I expected it to be. From what everybody had told me, I'd heard from some people that it was just a terrible surgery. I didn't think it was nearly as painful as my expectations were, but um, it took me longer to get over it than I expected it to. You're just bone spurs. I have bone spurs in my left shoulder that they've told me. I had both shoulders looked at the same time, and they told me they weren't bad enough to need surgery yet. But at some point, I may need them scraped. Uh, so I've not had that done. Mine was actually, I actually had a muscle torn off the bone on my shoulder, so it was a pretty in-depth surgery. But yeah, it definitely took me longer to get going to where I could say I could get back to normal life than I anticipated. Uh, it was 6 weeks, I guess, 7 weeks before I started to get a little bit of movement out of the sling, but it was a good 3.5 months before I could really start to use my shoulder good, and I was not expecting it to take that long. Physical therapy drug on longer than I wanted it to, also. Well, y'all, I am just I don't know, a couple miles from a little Amish grocery store. I'm gonna stop up here. The wife wants me to pick some stuff up. So, another couple miles, I'm gonna wrap her up. Appreciate y'all hanging out here. It's so bad it gets extremely painful. I hear you. It may be that the surgery definitely is worthwhile for you. Hopefully it helps and recovery is not too long. Hopefully they'll be able to do yours arthroscopically. Mine wasn't arthroscopic. Mine was they actually had about a 6-inch incision in my shoulder. I think that may be why mine took longer to recover. Was just because it was such a bigger incision. That, or maybe I'm just a crybaby. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a little baby. Should have sucked it up and got over it. All right, y'all. Well, I appreciate you hanging out with me. I'm getting ready to turn in here. So I'm going to, as soon as I get turned in, I'm going to shut this thing off. I appreciate y'all hanging out and riding home with me. I'll talk with y'all later. See you around.